Congresswoman Laurel. Congresswoman, good to see you. Thanks so much for being here. What do you think the Senate will do? Already we've heard from Senate Democrats. They say, no way, we're not going to do it. Are we going to see a government shutdown?
Well, I'm very hopeful that the Senate is going to do its job and take this up and make sure that we keep the government open. As you point out, this continuing resolution does a couple of important things. It cuts discretionary spending overall, but also ensures that we are still funding vital things like our military, our ICE agents on the border, and other things that are necessary to keep stability and keep the government open. So this was a big win for President Trump and for House Republicans. And the other interesting thing here is that Democrats all voted to shut the government down, that they're at a place where they wanted to shut it down rather than continue this continuity and do the essential spending and keep and prevent us from working on the America First agenda and the key policy priorities of the Trump administration.
Well, it sounds like they want to shut down DOGE for sure. And we'll see if they actually want to shut down the government on Friday as well. So the next step is digging in on your reconciliation package, and we want to know more about that, particularly as it relates to the tax extensions. Here's Jonathan Fahey with me this morning. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Yeah, this seems to bode well. How quickly you all did the CR and were able to get that passed seemed like drama-free, at least from the outside. Are you optimistic about getting the tax cuts extended in the coming months?
Yes, we are very optimistic about doing that. And the important thing to recognize on the tax cuts is that these are cuts that benefit regular, everyday, middle-class Americans. These are things that will help them keep their taxes lower, that will keep more money in their wallets, help them pay their bills every month. So this was a really important aspect of economic growth and prosperity during President Trump's first administration. So it will be a very big priority for House Republicans to make sure that we keep those tax cuts where they are and avoid a huge tax hike on middle-class America.
Yeah,
so I am optimistic. I think House Republicans have really demonstrated an ability to get policy done despite our slim majority. So that will be a big priority for us.
For sure. But the problem is you've got to come up with ways to pay for it. I mean, Elon Musk is defending potential DOGE cuts to entitlement programs, including Social Security and Medicare. Here's what he said yesterday. Watch this.
If you guys look at the Social Security Administration and you guys are looking for fraud and waste and abuse, can you guarantee people who are concerned about an interruption to benefits that there will not be?
Yes, we're going to be very careful with any interruption to benefits. In fact, only by tackling the waste and fraud in entitlements like Social Security, Medicare, can we actually preserve those programs for the future. Because with unchecked fraud and waste, we won't be able to afford them.
Congressman, isn't it true that the two programs that have been identified within these benefits, with the two programs that have the highest improper payments are Medicare and Medicaid? So if you've got all these improper payments coming out of Medicare and Medicaid, I would imagine there are some cuts to be happening there.
There is a huge savings to be made to those programs by identifying the waste and abuse. So Elon Musk is exactly right there. We do need to make sure, and we will, preserve these programs for the people they are meant to serve, for the people who rely on these benefits, and identify the waste and the fraud and the abuse, which will be a very important cost savings for us. And when we look at the numbers, you know, I used to work as a federal prosecutor, and the amount of healthcare fraud, the amount of fraud that exists in some of these programs is staggering.
Yeah.
And we're really at a moment now where we're harnessing technology to analyze data that we'll be able to identify that fraud in a way that can make a very big difference for us.
Well, it was certainly an eye-opener to see all of those people who claim that they're 150 years old on the Social Security rolls. I mean, that in and of itself tells you what else is beneath the surface that we need to know about. 360 years old somebody was. We don't know if they got actual benefits, but they might be because they're on the rolls, the Social Security rolls. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thank you. We'll be watching your work. Laurel joining us this morning. Quick break.